Hello, and welcome to another episode of Race to Wealth. We're so excited that you're joining us today. Here we talk about wealth, lifestyle, and habits that keep you financially fit for yourself now and also in the future. I'm your host, Vanessa Harrison.
And I'm your host, Dulcie Thomas.
So
we're going to get right into it, right?
So today's show is entitled Products That Make You Rich. Right. And so we're going to be talking about some things that I'm sure are common things that you might have heard about before, but since so many people have gotten abundantly rich from using these products, we want to come on the show and remind you of what some of them are so that if you are using them in a way that's different from the way that highly successful people have been using it, that you can apply that into your life. We're so excited that you're joining us today. We're going to go with we always start out with the intention of the show, and then we have our story of the day.
Right. And like to make a disclaimer as well, we're not professional attorneys or accountants and things like that of that nature. So just wanted to make a legal statement. So the story of today is the fact that I've done a survey, or I've researched and found out in a survey that there is only 62% of Americans that have less than $1,000 in their savings. It's kind of hard to say, but it's true. It's true. And some of the other things is that, so it's hard for when you come up with when you have an emergency, it's really hard for, to the family, hurtful to the family and things like that. So aside from that, we wanted to say that, we're talking about budgeting and that you should have a budget, and the fact that having a budget will save you some of the hardships and heartfelt, situations, just to have something in your pocket, if
That's true.
when trying to do that. So I have a quote from Warren Buffett that says that don't save what's left after spending, but save what's left after saving.
But
sounds easy, right?
Yeah, because you definitely want to spend what you have left after you save your money and then do your spending.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he was making that quote, and he says, especially for those tight times of a budget, let's be real. Saving money on a tight budget is by far harder, near impossible, but it is important. It's very important to set aside some savings for the future.
That's
so
true. And Warren Buffett is someone that you definitely would hear what he has to say about finances and go with it, because he's highly, highly successful. And for today's show, we do want, thank you so much for the story of the day. We do want to talk about the tools that we have and what we have started to study. So many successful people who are successful in a lot of different areas, who have untold amounts of wealth. And we have compiled some things that from our studies are what the wealthiest people are doing. And we know that there are a lot of distractions when it comes to building your wealth. And so we wanted to break it down a little bit. And one of the first things that we were going to talk about is how people who are extremely wealthy they use more than just their money.
Exactly.
So they have gotten into the habit of course, using money to get the things that they need, but a lot of people who are successful are not always using their money. They're using the resources that they have.
Exactly.
They're tapping into the resources, and they're using leverage. So someone who is trying to become very wealthy knows that leverage is a big thing. Consider what it is that you have in your arsenal of things. It could be your personality. It could be your intelligence. It could be that you are extremely organized. It could be that you are great at connecting people. It could be that you have a lot of land. It could be, there are so many things that are resources that you can use that you can start to get income from. So definitely one of the things is that successful people use their resources. They got to know what they have,
right,
to know what they can trade for.
And exactly. And so some of the other ways that they can do that, or you and I do that, some people already doing it, is the different mindset. Your mindset is a big thing as well, because that's one of the first things that I believe a lot of business professionals do, is they get in the right mindset to turn their finances around as well. I was reading a book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind, and by Joseph Murphy. And he was talking about the fact that some of the things that successful people do, and they think differently. They resist complacency. They have a drive of urgency to get things done, in an orderly fashion. They say no to a lot of things that you want to say yes to. And, in spending, we can definitely cross the line when it comes to spending, because when we're saving, when we say we want to save, do you save? When you say you want to save, do you really save? Or do you really put something aside? And like I was talking about earlier, putting something aside, before you start spending, and, your normal life, the normal things that you buy in a lifetime. So that's what, like I said, that's what a lot of people do. Mindset is
so important.
Yes.
Mindset is so important.
Yes,
and
it
then,
is.
If a lot of successful people are successful for that reason, it starts out with the mindset. The mindset cannot be replaced. There have to be certain things that you're doing to keep your mind in a place where you're thinking about your finances. Just you guys tuning into the show is one way that you're working on your mindset. Because did you know that some people consider it to be, taboo to think about money, to talk about money, and they kind of shy away from it. They don't want to be anywhere near a conversation about money. But in all reality, we're talking about money all the time.
Every day. Every
With
day.
the things you do.
You go out, every time you step out your door, it involves money.
Yep.
Because you may need to go get gas. You may need to go get groceries. You're always going to stop. Oh, let me stop here. I need to just pick up a couple things from the grocery store. But then you just go to the market. And I'm not judging, because I've done it. And I'll do it in a minute. But again, she says mindset. And that's what I'm talking about. I'll tell myself, no, I got what I need. It's at home.
Yeah.
That can wait until the next time when I make my budget to go to the market.
Right.
Or to go shopping for something for me. And you know how we are.
And it's got to also be where you're thinking about how money is coming in to you, because we were at that, there was an event and a lady said, what's the first thing that you do in the morning? And people were saying, I get coffee, I make up the bed, I do this, I do that. What did she say?
Social media. She said, the first thing I do is check my bank account. That's what's up. Ooh, that was a wow moment. What's the first thing you get up when you get up?
And she's wildly successful, So she checks her bank account like, she's checking the temperature of what she needs to do, and she's consistently thinking about ways to bring income into her, and then also to spend less.
Exactly.
But first thing she does is check her bank account. And so, a lot of wealthy people, they really make a beeline to exactly what it is that they want in life, because it's not always about, it's not always about a certain amount of money, a certain amount of fame, a certain amount of all the things that you consider to be wealthy. It's not always just about that. But wealthy people are wealthy in their own ways.
Right.
So they have a clear vision about what it is that they want out of life.
Exactly. And they're disciplined.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not that's not unfortunately, but it's true. Because we need to get more discipline, even if you're not, in order to get what you want financially. It takes work, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
I myself, like we were talking about mindset. And I was telling Vanessa that one day I was on my way home from work, and I was thinking about my bills. I don't know if you've done it, but there may be some people out there, viewers that are watching. I was thinking about it so hard that I gave myself a headache. I could not, I'm like, and it came so sudden that I was like, oh my God, where did this come from? My head was pounding. And it was the fact that I was thinking about how much, my bills and how was I going to pay this and that. And it was just overwhelming. Yeah. I went home and wrote it down. You're listening to me, viewers? I'm serious, Vanessa. I went home and I wrote it down. And my head stopped hurting immediately. And I had to catch myself just to realize that it had stopped hurting without me taking anything. Yeah. But it was just the stress that was on me. So again, mindset is everything. We need to write these things down. If you're using your computer, do it online. Just, start formulating what you have, what your bills are. And I know we all grown and everybody heard this before, but I'm just giving a testimony. It's real. It does help when you write them down and figure out what you can pay, when you can pay it. And it's less stress physically because mentally you're taking it off your mind and you're putting it on paper. So you're giving yourself another vision and you're giving your body time to relax from being so overstressed. It's true. It does work. Mine.
And, speaking of having a vision for what it is that you want, there was a study done that talked about the amount of people who actually write down what they want and how in the span of over 10 years or so, which people actually get what it is that they want. And everyone who wrote down the things, they actually get that. We were at a success conference, and they were talking about making a vision board. And I'm sure that you guys have heard about vision boards before. You've probably heard this information before. But the part that really matters the most is, have you done a vision board? Like, have you actually, there are so many ways to make a vision board. There are different, programs like online where you can go on Pinterest and you can have different boards of different pictures. So if you know that you want to, in the next couple of years, you want to remodel your house, you want to update your classroom, you want to go in a certain direction of business, you pin everything exactly the way that you want it, and your subconscious mind starts working for you to actually get there. You can pin it up online, but then some people do it with magazines, and they open the magazines and they cut out all the pictures that they want. Somebody said that sometimes when you do it with magazine, you get kind of distracted by like all the pretty pictures and stuff. The marketing kind of gets you. Yeah. And you start putting down things that you really wouldn't have gotten. You really wouldn't have put down if that beautiful picture wasn't there. Like maybe you put down like a very fancy watch. But in the grand scheme of things, you're not worried about a watch at all. Right. And then, some people, they write down a list of all the things that they want in their life that would make them wealthy for themselves. And then they go and look up those pictures online. They search for that one thing. If it is family time, you might put a picture of your family. If it is with earning a certain amount of money, and then they, look up a picture that tells a story of how they want it to look in their own life. Right. And then they can print those things out, put it on a poster board, hang it up in your office, hang it up in your room, wherever, so that you can see it, and your subconscious mind starts working for you to actually get those things. This has worked so many times in my life. Yes, and I know you were saying that, like, as this worked, it starts unfolding. And I was saying the same thing. Some of the things that we have now are things that we made a vision board for before. Exactly.
Like she was just saying, I happen to have a notebook that I have been writing in since 2007. Next time I'll bring it, I'll show it to you. But since 2007, and I look back 3 and 4 and 5 years ago, and those things have actually come to fruition. They've actually come true, and I'm just like so amazed. I'm just so amazed. And you can even go back in the vision board or even in the journal and go back every 3 months. You don't have to look at it every day if you want to. That's what you prefer. But go back every 3 months, or maybe every 6 months, and look at what you've actually written down to see if you have actually accomplished some of those things. And I guarantee you, you're going to be marking them off like, oh my God. They don't have to be huge. They could be small things, save. I'm gonna save $1,000 within the next, 2 months or a month. You know what's coming in. Just judge it for yourself. Or I'm gonna start working out. Write it down. Just write it down and see where when you do start. If you just start and then all of a sudden you look in the book, it's like, oh my God, I said that 2 months ago. I really started. That's what we're talking about. It will happen.
Yeah. There's something that happens between the hand and the mind. I mean, that helps you to have more clarity. And in order to reach any goal, clarity is the main thing that you need. So if you're really talking about tools that will make you wealthy, tools that will make you rich, clarity is the biggest one. You've got to be clear on what it is that you want, where you're going, so that you can seek it out. Just like they have missiles, and that they have missiles that need a target for them to seek out that target to destroy that target, to slay it. And some of them are worth absolutely nothing until they have coordinates that they're going to go to, or a target that they're going to go to. And that's the same way with our subconscious mind, because once you write down a goal, the things that you do in your life, you can't write down a goal and then just eat a sandwich like Jim Carrey says. Okay, so did you see that on Oprah?
No, I missed that one.
Okay, so on Oprah, Jim Carrey, she brought him on. She said that he was one of the people that she learned the most from in just a couple of minutes, because he said that when he was completely broke, homeless, like living out of his car in the worst situations, he wrote a check to himself. And the check was for $10 million. And he would drive by like the nicest neighborhoods, where the nicest houses were. And he would just imagine the feelings that he would have from directors telling him that they really enjoyed his work, they really admire him, they would love for him to be on their show and stuff like that. And so as he was doing that, he was just riding around like, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad you admire my work. And then, so as he was visualizing that, of course, he was working. And then he had written the check out for like Thanksgiving, 1995 or 1985 or something. And right before Thanksgiving, he found out that he was going to be making over $10 million on the movie Dumb and Dumber.
My God, that is awesome.
Yeah,
that's the way it happens. It's visualization, and like we said, vision board, and just it's almost like decreeing and declaring a thing that you want, and speaking it as well. It's about belief as well.
Yeah.
You have to believe it, just believe in what you want, and it's going to happen.
Yeah. If you can see it and you can believe it, then it's much easier to actually achieve it.
Yes. I love it. I love that. Most definitely.
We were also, let me see. So we're so excited that you guys are joining us.
Yeah, but the other thing that we were talking about is the fact that some of the things that make you rich, as we mentioned, and of course we're talking about the mindset, resetting your mind or setting your goals and for your future and things like that. But we were just saying some of the things that we know that people have done is some women have started a boutique. Some type of business, that you can do from home. Photography. Start with one camera. You just never know. Yeah. You can start charging to take pictures. Everybody needs some pictures or professional pictures at one time or another. Yeah. The other thing is there are some women or couples or whoever want to start an event planning business, So it just really, depending on what you're looking for, a home-based business, that's really special. Yeah. And that's really a good thing to do, because you can do it on your time. That's number one, your time. And if you're interested in something like that, we definitely have something that we would like to share with you. Not at this time, but eventually, as we go on with our episodes, you'll hear bits and pieces about it. But it's there's a lot of benefits to it. A tax write-off for number one. Just the extra income coming in for your family, whatever you may need it for.
That is so true what you were saying about being able to start a business depending on what it is that you want.
Yeah.
It goes back to the resources that you have at your fingertips.
Yes.
If you know that you're always taking pictures and your pictures turn out really good and you get a lot of likes on social media, it may be time to advertise and say that you take pictures, you know. So whatever it is that you have in your arsenal of things, people are making money off of it, especially if you specialize in something. Then people are making money in it.
Exactly.
You know, and you can too. You know, a lot of people have this limiting belief that they can't do something because they see someone else doing it at a different level. You know,
exactly.
They may be looking at a celebrity who has spent 30 years doing something and have really improved their craft to a place where they're making thousands of dollars off of just one shoot. Well, everybody's not ready to pay $1,000 every time they shoot, you know. But as you build your clientele, then you build your skill, then you'll be able to charge more for whatever your services are.
Exactly. You may be good at computers, technology, and you know that's one of the biggest things right now on earth. Technology.
And if you are, please reach out to us, because seriously, we're always looking to partner with people because your network is so valuable. And we really would love to connect with some people. We have so many projects, you know, in place, you know, that,
we're always working
we're always looking to network with professionals who have a goal for whatever their business is, because chances are, if you have a goal, someone else has a goal, that you can help each other in some kind of way.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm into these studies, y'all. So there was also another study done about people who have goals and who write them down, and those who don't. I think it was in Wisconsin. Let me not say exactly where, because that part's not clear, and we need clarity in it. So there was a study done, and it showed they took pictures of people, and they were just regular people. Some of them had resting faces, smiling faces, just whatever their natural personality was. They took pictures of everybody. And then they had them to think about their goals and to write down their life goals. And then they took pictures of the people again. And it completely changed their whole expression. It changed the way that they carried themselves. It changed them so much that they had other people come in and point out the people who had the goals, and like 90% of the time they could point out the people who had goals, who had set the goals, because it just changed them. It changed their appearance, and it changed how they had these goals all along, but when they wrote them down,
I'm telling you,
it just changed how they tackled life, you know.
It really makes a difference.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I just feel it, you know, not to keep going on about it, but like I said, my head was pounding so bad when I was just thinking on something so hard. You know, you can think yourself into, you know, damaging your heart or anything. You know, you gotta rethink it. You gotta rethink it and write it down.
Write it down and let it go.
Yeah, you're here for a reason. You know, God just didn't put you on this earth just to be here, have a family, and things like that. You're so much more. You deserve more out of life. Yeah. So get you a book and start making a journal of things that you like to, places you like to go, shows you like to see. Go to them and see them live. Okay. After the pandemic died down a little bit more, we're not just telling people just go out there and just, put your life at risk and all of that. But we're just stating that what she just said, I firmly stand on that. I can believe it because I just feel better. You just feel so much better.
Yeah.
And we're talking about being healthy, financially fit,
And wealthy.
and wealthy. Write it down. Yeah. So another thing too. Now this is a little bit, some more conversation, but it's in another direction. About staying, about wealth, or just making sure you don't lose any money. So we know about this product, Privacy Armor, and it has to do with you using the internet and the dark web. You getting emails, whether it's to your phone or to your emails, where people are luring you in to click, and they're asking you for money, and you go ahead and venture into something that you might not have did any research on. You're talking about losing money.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the things that make you rich. Well, that won't make you rich. So we're just saying, be very careful. Be aware of that. Yeah. Even downloading any software could be dangerous because it could be a virus on it. Yeah. So.
And identity theft happens so much nowadays. We're in the age of technology, and people have figured out so many ways to get people's information and steal their identities and function in the world as them. People have bought houses and cars and all of that from using other people's identity. So it is very important to have your identity protected.
Exactly.
For sure. Your identity protected. Yeah. What was I going to say? To have your identity protected. Here's a tip too. When you go online and you look up a website, if you go into a website, you've got to look at the URL, because on the URL sometimes it will say HTTPS. How it has that at the beginning. So if it does not have the S on that site, don't go to that site. Because the S at the end stands for secure. Like you have a secure connection. Like no one else can get into there and mimic your strokes or anything like that. So if it has an S on that HTTPS, then the S is for secure. So it's a much safer place to go in and navigate.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I learned that in a technology class.
Oh, gosh.
That I was like, this technology class is worth it.
Exactly. And talking about technology, if we've just learned some information about Zelle, we're just talking about the part as far as making sure you read up on it, because that's something I didn't know about Zelle, is you only can use your phone number or your email. We just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, if you're using Zelle at any banks, you only can use your email address or your phone number. So make sure you check it before you use it. That's just what would you call it when you give somebody just a nice little nugget? That's a good nugget, a good tip.
Yeah.
Check it out if you don't know. And some of you might not know that. If you have Zelle at 2 different banks, you only can use the phone number at one and the email for the other, for people to send you money. Yeah. And if you're sending out money, you might want to check with them to see which one are they using, their email or their phone number. Just a good tip. The other thing is to use your, where we were talking about money that make you rich. I was reading a little bit, or I just got the information about using credit cards instead of a debit card to protect your finances. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we can use both. Yeah. But in me doing a little research on Privacy Armor, which is one of the products that we have, if you happen to need a product that can
protection.
Thank you. Yes, we have that.
Yeah, but then because when you use your banking account, and then they have access to the money that's actually coming into you. But if you use a credit card, and then they have access to whatever your credit limit is on that card, and they don't have access to anything else that's not connected. So, to use your credit card in some instances is safer than using your debit card.
And I move around with mine too. I have certain cards for certain things.
Yeah.
I was just talking to the lady at the bank, and that's what she was telling me too, that she did. We were on the phone though.
Yeah.
And she said that sometimes when she used PayPal or some other accounts, she would rather change the credit card because she don't want them use. You know how they say, do you want us to save it or save that card? I'll be like, no, do not save that card.
No, please don't.
Because I might want to change it. I might want to use another bank card.
Yeah, that's true.
For the same company.
That's true. And with Zelle, you have to, the way the world is set up, it's set up in a way that it's so easy for you to like spend out, spend out.
Yeah.
But to receive money, sometimes you have to go through extra steps. So like with Zelle, did you know that if you're going to be receiving money through Zelle, that you have to register? You have to be registered to receive money from Zelle. But if you're paying out money, you can pay out money all day, every day. Money. But if you want to accept money, like have income from Zelle, then you have to register first. And if you don't, then it's a whole big mess. Yeah. Because then you have to like wait 14 days, and it's you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
Because you could have like a lot of money just out there lingering somewhere. So
and
register.
If
you want to receive money from Zelle, go ahead and set yourself in a good position right now and register with Zelle to receive money because if not, then you'll just be able to. And I had to do that myself. I was like, I didn't know that. Maybe nobody's ever paid me through Zelle. I didn't realize that I was only paying out with Zelle. I didn't realize that until I was like, okay, well maybe I need to register.
Oh my God.
So we're gonna go ahead and have a quick commercial break, and we're gonna come back with some more products that make you rich. See you soon.
Oh my God! I just got through watching a great show on Boss Up Houston Network. Have you heard? They're bossing up, okay? And I heard they're looking for you. Any podcasters, talk show hosts, if you're a writer or producer, we definitely need you. Come aboard and boss up.
Are you a small business owner that is struggling to promote your company?
Our topic today is, what's your status?
Shoot the dice at this point.
You just shoot the dice. Roll the dice.
So.
Yes.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's attorneys.
Victoria Blanco. I love it. Imagine being televised on a national platform. How about being a host or sponsor on a syndicated podcast? Or being featured on exclusive promotions and interview for your product to your ideal customer. Hi, I'm Kayla Sneed, and I'm head of sales with Boss Up Houston. And here at Boss Up, we like to help small business owners and entrepreneurs advertise, promote, or become a sponsor for one of our television, podcast, or radio shows. All you have to do is click the link down below to see if you qualify. I'll be seeing you soon.
This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
This is Jay Williams, and I am representing myself and my husband Christopher as the real couple for Married Date. We are super excited about this opportunity. But just to give you a little quick review of how we actually met. Chris and I met in 2001 as colleagues while working at a major insurance company here in Houston. 2 years later, we started dating because we met again at a club. Actually, it was just a party. It wasn't actually a club. Anyway, I felt hard for him and he felt hard for me. Whenever he would call, I would say, my husband's calling. So I feel like I manifested our relationship and I have no regrets of that. Christopher and I got married in 2006. We've had a bumpy road. It has not been all juices and berries, but it has been worth it. The love we have for each other is real and it's strong, and it is faith-based. And so we have been married for 15 years now. We have 2 adult children and 1 amazing grandson.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back from our commercial break. We were talking about before the break products and things that make you rich. So we wanted to continue the conversation. And, you know, to be wealthy, to be rich, it's so important to consider your time.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Time. Do you know, time is one of the main equalizers among men, like here. So if you think about it, like people who are wildly successful, everybody can name Beyonce because it seems like her day is longer than everybody's. And then also, if you think about the opposite extreme, if you think about the person who doesn't have anything going at all, they still have the same amount of time in a day. There's no way to get in a 24-hour span. There's no way to getting more or less time. If you say, I wish I had so-and-so's time, well, you do.
You do.
You got 24 hours in a day.
Right.
But the way that you use time is so crucial that it's really one of those tools that you can use for your benefit to make you rich. Time is so important.
Exactly. In saying that, I think that it's best if you don't already have it. A lot of professionals out there already do. And I would say whatever level you're on in life, celebrity, professional, and even if you're working a regular job, your time is valuable. So I would say a calendar, because a calendar keeps you structured with your time. I myself use one. I have two books, a calendar book and a notebook for notes. And it just really helps you to strategically plan your time. It's just like the doctors, when you go to a doctor's appointment, they have you down for a specific time. If you're not there, you're not going to be seen, because their time is money, and your life is worth money as well. So a calendar is definitely a must. The calendar should start from, even if you start your day from 5 or 6 in the morning, and then just write down what you do, and then that way, even if you're working after 8 hours, or if you want to do something during the lunch hour, then if you have it written down, you're strategically planning your time, and you'll get those things accomplished. I promise you will. Yeah. You just have to write them down. You write down your appointments for your doctor appointments, for your children's doctor's appointments. So you get, so we're talking about somewhat along the same line of, your time being valuable. Yeah. It is just so valuable. It's just so crucial, because when you look around every day, time is just gone. Yeah. It just waits for no one. So,
So a calendar is so vitally important.
Yes.
To keep track of what it is that you're going to do. Like, how are you going to spend your day? How are you going to spend your day? Even the order of how you do your day matters.
The reason why I'm pointing at Vanessa is because she's a teacher, and we were just talking recently, and she was telling me about how she is strategically planning her day, even in her classroom. I'm like, that's what's up. I'm like, you do what? I'm like, yes. And go ahead, tell them why. Because it takes the pressure off of you.
Yeah, it really does. In a lot of professions, you really have to consider your time and how you move around in your surroundings, whether it's in the classroom or whether it's in business or whatever. You've got to move ninja-like in order to get people to their goals. Like, you can set goals for people, or they can set them for themselves, but there's got to be a lot of movement. Someone uses this example that I really, really liked. They said, a lot of people are professionals, and I want everyone to think about this. Doing the job that you do, would you be able to do that if you worked at McDonald's? because McDonald's is a highly efficient place. They make billions and billions of dollars. One of the reasons why they do that is because they have everybody use their time wisely. And, this is a part that, is not talked about that much, but just think about yourself and your job and your business, and if you are as efficient as McDonald's. Because at McDonald's, what if you went into McDonald's with your Starbucks cup and you came in there 10 minutes late and you chatted up with people and you read the newspaper, you went through your emails, you put a little YouTube on the side so you could listen to some music while you worked, and all of that. And then you went on your lunch break, and instead of taking 30 minutes, you took 47 minutes, and then you came back. It wouldn't fly at McDonald's because they're paying you for your time. Yes. So at McDonald's, you wouldn't last making minimum wage at McDonald's running your business or running your life like that, because at McDonald's, you come in not a minute late, or they get onto you, because if one person's able to do it, then everybody can do it. And then you work what time does work start? From the minute you get there. You gotta work, do this, do that. Your break is a certain amount of time, and you've got to be back on the floor. And there are managers who are walking around and making sure that everything is efficient. They're doing a great job.
That's right.
And then as professionals, how many professionals are doing that? Making use of every minute of the day.
Every minute of the day.
Every minute of the day.
And I'm telling you, even though we're sharing this, it's not saying that, even if you do it, it's not saying that you're perfect, because there has been some time in my life with as far as my business is concerned, when I'm at home, I stop to get up to go get, a snack or something like that. You have to really be flexible as well. We're not robots, we're of course, we're taking care of our life.
Right.
So, but you do have that calendar is just so vitally important, because it structures you. Even if you miss the mark a little bit, that's what I know that I will get done today. Right. When you tell yourself that you're going to get it done, you will get it done. Now, like I said, you may have to move your time around a little bit, but at the same time, be mindful also of other people changing your time. I've had that in my life too. Family situations can come up with a family member, and you might say to yourself, within your mind, you're like, oh my God, I got this on my calendar. I really need to do this. How can I manage this situation? Yeah. So sometimes, things come up and you may have to look at your calendar or push something back or change the time. But the key thing is to always communicate. I've always been a communicator, because, of course, I've had to work all my life. I'll say all my life. I think over 30-some years is all your life. It's a lot of your life. Mm-hmm. And you call your boss when you're running late. Yeah. Unless that's not your type, that's just not you. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I called in. When I need to call my boss if I'm running late, it shows responsibility, and that's what you've learned, or you've been around some people in life to help you, teach you about responsibility when you have a job. So you can also lead that into your personal life for your business.
Yeah.
Yes, responsibility. In order to get what you want, you have to definitely make a calendar, stand on it, stick to it, move forward, and make it happen. Just make it happen. And the circle of people that you're around as well. If you're around people in your life and they don't think that this is important as you do, then you might want to sit back and think about what you really want, because what you really want is important. So you're going to have to change your circle of friends. I'm not saying as far as your family and things like that, but you definitely need to get some people in your circle that want to go in the direction that you're going in. And that will definitely help you use your calendar, because they're using their calendar as well, because they're business professionals and they want to get things done. They want to achieve things in life, and that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You really do.
You got to get it done.
You got to get it done. You have people that's in the banking industry. You have the people that are in the education industry, their principals, their assistant principals, you know, and that's their staff that they have to take care. They can't do all that on their own, so we all need help. So sometimes, that's why I say your circle of influences, your friends that are moving in the direction that you're being in, belonging to an organization like Boss Up Houston. Boss Up Houston. I got kind of sassy.
Shout out to Boss Up
Houston in the house.
We love you guys.
Yes.
And that brings me back to what you were saying, because I had went off and started talking about something else, but you were talking about how all of these things are interacting with each other. Like, what is your job and your business and your family and all of these things that you've got to line out on a calendar, make sure that you're spending your time the right way. When you were talking about how I was preparing for the upcoming, school year, I was doing a lot of prep because, I have school, I have a business, and then I'm launching some other things. I have language projects that are going on. I teach people the English or the Spanish that they need for their jobs. And I'm launching another project. So I would right now.
And you have kids.
And I have kids, and I'm trying to live living my best life.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Living my best life. I'm living my. Oh, so sorry about that.
So when it comes to my classroom right now, I want to make sure that I have just everything organized in a way so that when I get into the classroom, I want all of the kids to be learning and to reach all their goals. We just went through a pandemic, and in that pandemic, there were a lot of kids who didn't go to school. Some of them were going online, and they didn't always attend class. So this year is going to be one of those years that kids will need to gain knowledge that they didn't even know that they didn't get. So I'm organizing in a way so that I have their goals binders, so we can see, okay, your goal is that you need to comprehend more of what you're reading. Like, after you read, you need to know what exactly, who, what, when, where, how, and all that. Or maybe they're working on their accuracy because they're not, sounding out words, or their fluency in how they read, or how they need to expand their vocabulary and things like that. So I'm setting it up so that I can move around the room flawlessly, handle it in the classroom, handle it in my business, handle it with my family, and everybody get a good version of me. So I need to have all my supplies, organized and labeled. I need to have all of their, when they come over to me for small group, and I know that Sally is working on this, and Jim is working on this, and so is working on this, that I can see exactly what they're working on, get them exactly what they need, and I want to have just everything laid out for me. And sometimes you have to get other people to help you with that as well. So I'm working on getting it all organized, laid out, so that I can move like a ninja in every area of my life, because I don't have time to waste looking for where the popsicle sticks, the bookmarks, the this, the that, my lesson plan, and my this and my that. I had a meeting at 9 o'clock. I had a client who I was supposed to meet with at 4 p.m. And then I won't be able to do all that.
Exactly.
I don't want the stress.
What she's saying is, again, we're talking about being financially fit, but at the same time, all of that has to do with her job. That's her finances. So, and her organization.
My business.
And her business. And again, a calendar. When we were talking about some of the things that make you rich, the calendar. Her being organized, she has a calendar. She has it all laid out. And that's saving her time, and it's less stress because you have things in order, or you have prep your day. Preparation. It just makes you feel so good, and it keeps you healthy, because we all going to have some form of stress. But if everything is going on in the world, we're not going to touch that right now. Like TV, you know what I mean? Like all the stuff that's going on in the world, we're not going to touch that right now. But like we said, things that make you rich.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to go ahead. Take a quick break.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let us take a break.
Yeah. I think
take us there.
Yeah. So look, we're going to take another 2 minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes, and we're going to get right back to you with some more information about products that make you rich. All right. See you in a few minutes.
with every moment I've experienced with you, I put into a space of forever. And we can compromise what most misuse, 'cause only love will keep us together.
I love these kisses.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I can't shake this feeling. Sensational bliss from conversational perspectives. And just think, we ain't even got into the thick of it. I want to be lost in love with you, but also find our way. I want to dig deep in the mud with you and outgrow every obstacle that comes from day to day. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's making me go all in. And I ain't looking or thinking about who, what, why, or when. It's the intelligence for me, the confidence and swag, the happiness in knowing he can get the bag. I wish we knew what the future holds, but until then, we'll just keep hitting future goals. I'll just keep doing what I do, 'cause baby, all you need is me, and all I need is you.
Hello, welcome back. So look, we're going to get right back into it. So another thing we wanted to make mention about is starting a budget. I think that's a really good thing to do. Not that you're not already doing it, but just revisiting the budget that you already have, and see where you can maybe save a little bit for emergencies. And when I know we've all gone through just what we've all gone through, to say that is kind of difficult for me, because like I said, so many people have gone through so many difficult situations. But now that they are going to start giving a lot of families some extra money, whoop whoop. Not that I'm gonna get any, but anyway. So if you have extra, my name is Dulcie Thomas, 832-458-8960, Cash App, 90. Anyway, budget. I mean, people may have to use that additional income that's coming in, but I mean, y'all really try hard. Even if it's $10, $15, just tuck it away, put it on the side. Don't tell nobody. Keep it your secret. And then, if anything ever happens and you really need it, you're going to thank God that I forced myself to at least put $15, $10, $20 on the side. If you're making the big bucks, throw $1,000, somewhere, where you can't find it. So at your time when you need it for the mortgage, car, whatever, pay a little bit of extra on your car note. Car note, your house note, your rent, put a little bit on the side. Those things really work, and I'm not just saying it because I've done it, and it was a fight. I mean, literally, you gotta act like you're in a physical fight, but it's gonna be worth it in the long run, as long as you have your vision for what you want it for. That's what's going to make you fight even harder. And save even harder, because it's going to be for what you need it to be for.
Right.
The other thing is, of course, spend a little bit less. And I'm talking to me. I'm not just talking to all my viewers, because, like I said, we can spend it like that. You go get something extra to eat. You got food at home. Go get extra clothes. You already got clothes. Matter of fact, I need to sell some clothes. Or if you need to sell some clothes, 832. No, I'm just kidding. Hair done. Oh, don't start with that. Makeup. Now you know us. And men like gadgets. Well, my husband does. Don't tell him I said so. But men. A lot of guys are into technology. They want the games, those play games, PlayStations, and all of those things. you got enough. You know, put some of that money on the side.
Yeah.
You know, you never know what's going to come up.
Yeah.
Things like that, you know, be generous, give some away, help a family. You know, donate to pay their gas and electric bill. There's more than enough food. I mean, you know, you can help people with food too. There's nothing wrong with that. But be generous, you know, with what we have, what you have going on. And again, this is for us as well as it is for you guys, and we've done it. So we're experienced at quite a few things. We're talking about things that make you rich, getting out of debt.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I know we may
Take
mention
the shackles off.
Girl, it's gonna feel so good. You're gonna be like, oh my God. Number one of the things is when your credit score goes up from 600 to 720 or something like that. You know, that shows you're getting out of debt. So work on that credit. You know, pay the little extra bills when you can and things like that. And if you out there, you looking at us and say, well, they talking about money and being wealthy, and you know, and I really, you know, I'm really in a situation. Pray about it, number one, and look at yourself, or you know, think about what you like, what you have in your home. If you're needing to make some pies, sell some pies. Now, that might sound like something really small to someone, but when you need some help financially, you do what have to be done. If it's to sell some cakes, sell some cakes. If it's to make some different, you know, drinks, lemonade, and make them flavorful. There, that car go again. Make them flavorable. Do what you need to do to help yourself, you know. Join a church, join an organization. They might have some things that you can do for free, but in return, you can, you know, you'll be able to create or invent a way that you can start accumulating funds for yourself.
Yeah. And you know that contributing and stuff, you know, to a group, it works well to create wealth too, because there is a flow that goes on, and there's an energy that goes on with money and wealth and all of those things. And you know, because if you are putting out, if you are serving, and then you get that word that comes from serving, deserve. So whatever you serve, you deserve something in return. Even if you don't get it right then in that moment, then later you still deserve it. So you will get it, you know.
You get it back.
So the deserve comes from service. So you get the money that you got from service. So if you are serving,
right.
people have no there's no way that you can't get something in return. Even if it's volunteering. If you go volunteering, if I want somebody to do this social experiment, go and volunteer, and see, doesn't some form of compensation fall in your lap?
I'm telling you.
Because you deserve it.
And another thing, she's so right. I mean, I myself have done it. Like, I bless people with finances. And it was just from my heart. I didn't just spread it all around, even though that's what I'm looking for to accomplish one day in my life, where I can give a large sum to donate. You know, it could be to a single mother. It could be to a family. You know, that's just some of the things in my heart for my future to do. Eventually, as things progress in my life, you know, as far as business or just progress in general. She's right, you know. Volunteering, someone may see you volunteering all the time, and their heart might just feel something about you and bless you. Yeah. Whether it could be a car, I mean, it could just be something to blow your mind. It could be finances,
or it could be a position.
Yeah,
they say this person is reliable, and they're doing exactly what my business needs to succeed, and they might offer you a salary that would surpass anything you've ever made before.
My God. That's awesome.
It has happened.
That is so awesome, everybody.
And, you know, they, and then also there was let me see how I want to put that. There was, there's this level of service, and there's, that you want to continue to give out. You want to keep your level of service up high so that your value is high. We all know, you know, we're valued of God. We value other people as people. But I'm talking about some people get into bad situations because their quality of work goes down. So if you allow that to happen, like if you go to work and you are, or at your business, whatever, and your quality of work continues to go down, you're not in the mindset to put out like high quality, then your value and your income earning potential goes down because you're not at the mindset of someone who is like functioning on a high level, so it continues to go down. But as long as you're serving, your mindset is at the right place. It meets your income level because if you're serving on a high level, then you can be compensated at a high level. And even if you don't see it right away, but you keep showing up and you keep serving and you keep serving and you keep serving, there's nothing else that can happen besides that you get compensated for all the hard work and all the, showing up and all the doing things when you really might not even feel like it, or, just sometimes maybe you're going somewhere you don't really want to be there, but you're smiling. I tell my kids to smile until they feel it. Smile until they feel it, because that really does happen. You can smile until you really feel like doing that thing and just keep serving and keep serving and keep serving, and it will all work out.
And it's rewarding, like she said. It's very rewarding, and it's self-rewarding as well. Besides, like she said, people acknowledging that you're there and things like that. But what about for you? It's something for you. If you do have family, if you have a husband, or if you have kids, every woman I feel, or every man even, even children, they want something for them. So it does make a difference when you begin to serve and to help. You want to go. You begin to have new friends and form new relationships where you just never know. Like some of the things that she said will come out of those relationships. You just never know. And so you got to put yourself out sometime to receive what you're actually looking for.
So there are so many things that you can get from service. Service is such a great tool to help you to be rich and help you to be wealthy. Just serve. Yes. So if we were talking about like our tough love advice of the day, for me, I would say there are so many tools that can, help to make you rich. Maybe you have to be on maybe you get your calculators, to calculate some things, do math every day. You can have your calendar and your vision boards and your, your procedures in place, and have your relationships in place, and have your money, your assets in place, and all those things. But, it really comes down to your mindset. So your mindset is so key. Continue to have a great mindset, and it'll be your biggest tool in becoming wealthy.
Everything starts in the mind. Well, thank you again for tuning in from the Race to Wealth, where we help you
focus on your financial health. So we want to give a shout out to Boss Up Houston Network. Yes. Thank you so much for your platform and all the great things that they're doing at Boss Up Houston Network. Look at all the other shows.
And congratulations to Shamir Bacon.
Yeah. And Mr. Destin, so they'll be getting married soon.
Yes, congratulations.
We're so excited about that. And we hope you join us again. And that's all for Race to Wealth, where we focus on your financial health.
Health.